Family Promise has touched the lives of many different families, and with each family, it's a different story. Let's take the time to get to know one of the families and their story. And much like Miss Tiffany's story, there's always hope for a happy ending. From Family Promise of the Millings, for Carolina News, I'm Rodrick Jones. There's no one that this bill affects more than students at USC. I took the time to ask students their one-word reaction to the passing of this bill. Here in Richland County, we have the highest homeless population in all South Carolina counties. That is why Christ Central Ministry is working with Jackson to make sure that the homeless don't feel alone. Thank you. Success is one thing, but consistent success is another ballgame. A ballgame that Keenan Boys basketball head coach Zach Norris has played well.
Step up, Christ! There he is!
Although he says this may be one of his most talented teams, Norris had to overcome a little selfishness earlier in the year.
Because we were all in it for one goal, and I had to remind them of that. Before the season started, their one goal was to win the state championship. In order to get there, you can't be selfish. You got to share the ball.
Within the starting five alone, there are 50-plus college offers from schools across the nation, 9 of which belong to junior forward Dylan Jones, who also has an offer from the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Being that it's my city, like I said, playing for the hometown, not a lot of people get to do it. So I think it'll be a one-in-a-lifetime thing, of course, if it does happen.
Despite egotistical issues experienced early in the season, with consistent care and prayer, Coach Norris and the Raiders have found themselves with a 29-1 record and on their way to familiar territory in a battle versus the Ridgeland Hardeeville Jaguars at Colonial Life Arena. A battle that Coach Norris had the perfect game plan for.
I have to pound that thing inside in order to come on top today.
But early in the game, the Raiders struggled to follow the game plan, which left them down 1 going into halftime.
Everything got to be crisp. You can't be out there walking around thinking you're the best in the world and you ain't gonna execute.
And crisp they were, as the Raiders came storming back to torch the Jaguars with a final score of 70-40. A 6th state championship for head coach Zach Norris and a sweet ending to what may have been the best team he's ever had. This gives the Keenan Raiders their 8th state championship, tying 3rd in state history for most in boys basketball. For Carolina News, I'm Rodrick Jones. Here in Colonial Life Arena, pep bands from each school came to give a tease to the madness. All 8 teams have made it to Columbia, and the open practice for the first and second rounds are being held today, and it's free to all public. The experience of the open practice is exciting for everyone, but it may have been most exciting for the children. While being in school is always a good thing, one kid feels that such an opportunity couldn't be missed.
I still want to learn about stuff in school, but I'd rather be here watching people play than being in school right now.
And while Duke's Zion Williamson is the talk of the town, Cameron likes to go the opposite direction of most.
Because everybody knows Zion Williamson, and then that's probably like the only team they know, so that's why I like North Carolina, because I don't like being the same. I like being different than other people sometimes.
Basketball players were obviously hustling on the court, but another young 12-year-old fan was out hustling for autographs that he thinks can one day turn into something greater.
I mean, I could sell these things one day for a good bit of money, so.
If you weren't able to get away from school or work, there's still an opportunity to make it to a few other practices. Here's a look at the practice times for the rest of the day. Each team practices for 40 minutes, and as stated before, the public is welcome. For Carolina News, I'm Rodrick Jones.
Come here.
Typically, people end their nights with a trip home, but people here in Finley Park don't have that luxury, and Catherine Jackson understands.
When you see me, you're not supposed to be camera shy. You're supposed to give me a hug.
For the past 12 years, she has spent her retirement showing homeless men and women that someone cares.
I have women clothing. I have a few pair of men pants, which I've given out shirts and.
She collects clothing, hygiene products, and much, much more. Mrs. Jackson brings hope to the homeless community because the struggles that they face are all too familiar.
Back in the 70s, I had a full-time job working for the state, great benefits, but I became homeless with a newborn baby. That is my why.
According to the South Carolina Interagency Council on Homelessness, almost 4,000 people experience homelessness in South Carolina on any given night.
Here in Richland County, we have the highest homeless population in all South Carolina counties. That is why Christ Central Ministry is working with Jackson to make sure that the homeless don't feel alone. Thank you.
Miss Cat, oh my goodness, well every year on her birthday, she does a big lunch. So she gives back to the community. She serves on our advisory board, and she's pretty much in and out of here often.
Volunteers from Christ Central Ministries serve meals to the homeless Sunday through Thursday. While Jackson volunteers at Christ Central often, it is the personal connections with the homeless that she cherishes the most.
Come here.
For Carolina News, I'm Rodrick Jones.